I'm Susan from Tarjac. You may know us as the source for the best camo for your guns and bows, but we do so much more. Our custom work with automotive parts can transform any vehicle, our ATVs, sleds, four-wheelers, motorcycles. We've received national recognition for our work with Orange County Choppers, and we are most proud of our partnership with the future servicemen by providing customized helmets for the Army-Navy game. From the national stage to your favorite hunting ground, it's Tarjac.
Hello and welcome to the CNY Business Connection. I'm Jason Weinstein. Coming up on this week's show, how 3 young local entrepreneurs are getting down to business to save their flooded-out music program. Plus, how a little critter could mean big problems for an upstate New York industry supplying the national pastime. But we'll begin with the story of a family that is saying no to fracking and passing up 6 or maybe even 7 figures as a result.
There's a wild azalea that grows here and there up here, called pinkster, is the nickname for it, and beautiful pink flower.
It's something like the land around here once looked, before farms, logging, and other early industries cleared the forests and changed its contours.
Got a bird in the tree there?
There's a few right over there. There's a blue jay squawking.
There is 180 acres of it, owned by Andre LeClaire and his family, who like to think of it as it used to be.
It was there.
Beautiful land. Now this was originally a farm, right?
Yes.
It's grown in
yeah,
since
the Palmer Farm. It's Palmer Hill Road.
But this could become a prime piece of real estate for a gas drilling company, anxious to tap into the rich Marcellus Shale formation beneath this land.
I can see my house from here. I just don't want all that noise and rattling. And
this is where they'd put the drilling
it would
rig.
be a logical place. They don't have to put a lot of time into clearing the land. It's flat.
So this gorgeous meadow might be dominated by a drilling rig, a derrick.
Yeah, and then when they're done, if it's a viable well, then they've got the little pumping station sitting right out here in the middle.
That derrick and pumping station would not be far from Andre LeClaire's earth-friendly home, now under construction, with lots of green technology being built into it. LeClaire, who was acting chairman of Broome County's Environmental Management Council, says that his family shares his concerns with preserving the land. His mother, who died last year, did not want to see it altered.
She was adamant about not selling off.
Very suspicious of the industry. So why do they need exemptions from all the environmental laws everybody else operates under?
But like so many other landowners in the area, Andre LeClaire admits to a quandary and says he understands the lure of money. If he could be convinced that the process would be environmentally responsible, would what he describes as priceless land remain priceless?
That's a good question. I wonder just how big a price it would have to be. I mean,
you don't know what your price is.
We don't know what our price is. We know what we consider priceless.
But there is a price.
Potentially.
It's a decision, he says, he'd rather not make.
She said, someday, he says, we're all going to be sorry that this happened. It's God's creation, and God's creation alone at that point.
And you got some of it here.
I think we do. I'd like to keep it that way, at least as long as I can see it and smell it and hear it.
Our thanks to Larry Sperano for that story. We turn now to another story in the woods, at least somewhat. A small creature which could mean big problems to an upstate New York industry supplying the national pastime. Travis Eldridge has more.
The crisp sound of wood colliding with a baseball, the crack of the bat, the most recognizable sound of America's pastime. But the game now faces a monstrous enemy.
It's a sneaky little feller, and he could be hiding anywheres.
A bug that may be little but has the potential to do gigantic damage. The emerald ash borer, EAB for short, is true to its name. It bores holes into ash wood, taking just a few short years to kill the trees.
These logs over here, it took 75 to 125 years to grow those trees. All right, when you're going to wipe those trees out in a period of 15 years, a 15-year-old tree is only that big around. All right, it has to get to be about that big. It gets to be about 10 inches in diameter when it really starts to grow.
But what does this have to do with baseball? Well, the primary wood used to create baseball bats is ash wood, and much of that supply comes from this southern region of New York. Larry Schaefer is part of that industry as he owns this lumber mill in Deposit. He estimates he sends anywhere around 50% of his ash wood to bat companies. And while the bug hasn't reached the area yet, he knows it probably won't be long.
It's going to get them all
until it strangles the trees.
Where that emerald ash borer is going to go around this edge, and he's going to stop that tree from growing. He's going to girdle it.
For Schaefer, it means cutting trees nearly 50 years before he normally would, trying to salvage what he can.
3% per year on a tree, you do that over 20 years, you know, and it multiplies, because if you're gaining a ½ inch on that tree every year, you know, as it gets bigger and goes around it, it's a lot.
As for the baseball bat industry,
15 years is what we're told.
Well, there aren't too many options for them, but to just wait and hope something stops the bugs from reaching their precious ash wood.
You know, they'll follow the ash to get the ash they need as long as it's there, is what they've told me. And in the meanwhile, they're going to experiment with other woods to see what they can make into ball bats.
Trying to protect an American treasure.
Our thanks to Travis for that. We'll take a break, but when we come back, the story of 3 young entrepreneurs getting down to business to save their flooded out music program.
I'm Norm Poltenson. I've published the Central New York Business Journal for 25 years. Our success is based on the fact that we know only one audience, owners and managers of businesses in Central New York. We publish stories for them, we don't offer sound bites, and we always source our information. Maybe technology's changed since I started publishing 25 years ago, but not our mission. You can always rely on the Central New York Business Journal providing your business news.
Make your company's job opportunities stand out and get seen. The Binghamton Business Connection and BizConnectTV.com have created the area's first video job posting service. Don't hope a few words of text will get you the local candidates you want. Get your opportunities seen on the Binghamton Business Connection TV show and BizConnectTV.com/jobs. For an inexpensive multimedia and visual way to showcase your job openings, call 239-0199, email bizconnecttv@gmail.com, and watch the Binghamton Business Connection on My 8. Welcome back. When floods ravaged the southern tier of New York back in September, many people wondered what they were going to do next. But for 3 young entrepreneurs, well, they got down to business to save their flooded out music program.
Yeah, we asked our friends to wear them. They're like our fashion statement now.
MacArthur Elementary 5th graders Sophia Klin, Rita Caesar DeGroat, and Vestal Hills 6th grader Yuval Tessman Baran call themselves the Knit to Rebuild MacArthur Project. The school has been closed since September's flood. But instead of waiting for FEMA, these girls are working their fingers to raise money for the music program.
In our first week, we made $40, and now we're to $600.
Scarves are priced starting at $1. The trio hopes to raise at least $1,000. If the 3 can restock the music program, they'd like to do the same for the art program.
We do belts.
You can use
anything you want to use a scarf as.
And the headbands are a little different. You can use headbands and necklaces are the same.
And
headbands
bracelets.
Are like this.
You can choose the yarn you want, and this is a finished thick one.
The girls are even learning about the business world.
Now we know that anytime something happens, we know how to start a project and how to keep it organized.
We have a little notebook that we keep track of, like who has which yarn and what deliveries we need to make.
It sounds like a lot of work, but
It doesn't work.
This is like my free time activity.
Yeah, like some people sew or knit in their free time. It's like we're just making scarves in our free time. Then we just happen to sell them not in our free time.
And they found a secret to success.
Not too many people say no to 3 cute kids with scarves.
The girls have also aimed high. They sent this picture and a scarf to music superstar Taylor Swift, who had part of one of her music videos shot at MacArthur. What do the girls want in return?
Pay us for the scarf.
Pay us for the scarf. Maybe hold a benefit concert. That would be really helpful.
Or just make a donation. That'd be awesome.
Or just make a donation.
Taylor Swift, if you're watching this, please respond.
Thankfully, plenty of others have.
If you'd like to donate to the cause, you can contribute to the MacArthur Music Teachers account at McNeil Music in Vestal, New York, or contact Sue Krause at the email on your screen. Well, time now for a bit of business wisdom. Thanks to our friends at Prendismo.com, partnering with entrepreneurs for success.
Your network is critical because the longer you stay in your career, the sooner you're going to see that it is such a small circle of people in that particular industry. So you definitely never want to burn bridges. There's just really no reason to go out on a bad note. Even if you're leaving a job or you're leaving a company and your coworkers are disappointed or they really want you to stay, try your best to stay connected all the way through. Don't just kind of check out on your work and leave things a mess. Stay committed all the way through till your last day, and go around to the people that you worked with and let them know that you had a good time working with them while you were there, and see what you can do to end things on a good note. Another thing about networks, having gone back to get a second degree, one of the best things about having an MBA from Columbia Business School is the network that I have. No matter where I go, if somebody sees that I went to Columbia Business School and they are an alum as well, it's automatically a point to talk about. And it can open up a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors because it's a common ground. Your network really becomes the way that you want to find jobs as you get deeper in your career. When you first start out, you are kind of passively looking for a job. There are jobs out there, and you apply for them, and those are the opportunities that you have. When you get further along in the career, what you really want to be able to do is you want to create opportunities for yourself. And one way to create opportunities is to have a strong and deep network in your industry, because these people can vouch for you, they can alert you to opportunities, or you can go to them and you can say, I'm really looking for something like this, do you know of anything like that? And that is how you start to create opportunities for yourself when you're further along in your career.
And that does it for this episode of the CNY Business Connection. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Jason Weinstein. Have a good one. Make your company's job opportunities stand out and get seen. The Binghamton Business Connection and BizConnectTV.com have created the area's first video job posting service. Don't hope a few words of text will get you the local candidates you want. Get your opportunities seen on the Binghamton Business Connection TV show and BizConnectTV.com/jobs. For an inexpensive multimedia and visual way to showcase your job openings, call 239-0199, email bizconnecttv@gmail.com, and watch the Binghamton Business Connection on My 8.